Now let's explain how to set up the database server. Well, what we see here is groups of tables. We have one important part, the membership. This is a health plan's membership that somehow has to be transferred in the introduced tables. And we can talk about this later, but these tables contain the membership and the benefits. And if they're part of groups of benefit plan groups, yes, you can combine them this way. It makes dealing with the information a lot simpler. So, we also have the incoming request from the 270. We want to save that we and the request tables. Well, there contain information that is in the EDI-270 transaction about the subscriber, about the dependent, and maybe some diagnosis codes that came visit in the detail. Well, again, we can ask for specific procedures to be eligible for. Usually we only ask for health plan benefits, but anything is possible to store in these tables. Lastly, we have our responses. We want to save them too, and we use 4 tables for the responses is a table for the response itself. And then for each subscriber there is information tables and for the associated benefits. In the same way, if there was an error found with the incoming transaction, a HIPAA segment will be returned and that information contains a reject reason, a follow-up code, and the request was valid or not. But after explaining what the tables are and what they do, let's just use the visit to connect and we bring up this database, visit that connects. Though will ask us for a database type. It'll connect to it. It'll look for the database, it'll look for tables, and it'll create all the necessary tables. If the one-stop shopping deal we click on. Next we have Meet Microsoft SQL Server. We use Windows authentication. Server name is Computer 2023. That's the local machine. Let's just test the connection. And yes, we have success. Next thing is, it finds the one database that we created on this. So we select it. And next we want to save requests to the database. Yes, we say yes. We want to save our responses into the database. Yes, it lists all the tables that we need and that don't exist. So we create them right now and in no time, they have been created. They're ready for setup. Next, we default to select all the fields in those tables. It is expert, requires expert knowledge to limit the fields to those that you actually need. So we do that step and we have now the database set up or field selected. Our tables created. We are ready to move on to the next step. Do we need the tables for EDI exchange? Yes, we will need them. So at this point, I just check this and there will be created in the same short time that it took to create the other tables I click on. Lastly, 999 files. These are acknowledgement files, functional acknowledgements between tenders and receivers of EDI transactions. I choose to create those tables whether you need them or not. Well, you can decide at any time, but it's easy to create them. It's also easy to delete them. And that is it. This is the setup on the database. The program asks us now to set up EDI exchange. This will be a separate video, but it'll be the next step on what we have to do. Thank you for watching.